Brownland, her family, the horse show friends, the ponies, they are the legacy that I think Sissie dreamed of.
She was born and raised in Nashville, but I mean, her family roots and her history as far as, equestrian definitely comes from hunt country in Virginia. When she was about 18 or 19, she started to work for a barn and, learn and ride and things like that.
Horses were going to be her life. She knew the direction that she wanted to go, and boy did she go and do a great job of it.
Mother met my father and they were married and had me and started, my father was a farrier, so mom was a trainer, dad was a farrier, so they started, in a business.
Mac was such a worker, and he could do anything. He built everything. I mean, there was nothing that man couldn't do, all the way from building fence to being on the computer.
I think they were so happy, and I think he helped her build the dream.
They were always working. They were fortunate enough to do what they loved, so it was really kind of like they were doing life together, working, but without really considering it work, because they loved it. It was their passion.
It's a great place to grow up. We used to go horseback riding in the mornings, go to the river in the afternoon, and ride ponies bareback in the river every afternoon. So when my parents first met and got together, they actually drove to Texas to the King's Ranch and bought a couple ponies and a stallion. Briar's Jeremy Fisher was our big main pony stallion that my mother and father bought. They stood him for, 25 years maybe, and we just, we used to have 25 or 30 foals a year, horses and ponies, but at one time we had 6 stallions and 30 brood mares, and that's what we went year after year after year after year.
She had some really good ones. Mr. Mac was one that won the pony finals. A lot of people would buy them as weanlings, yearlings, 2-year-olds, and then develop them themselves.
Any Brownland farm pony would carry weight with it when it would go in the ring. You would stop and look, because they were always really, really nice ponies.
When it would be a Brownland, you'd sit up in your chair to watch.
This Brownland farm, horse showing, horses was Mother's 24/7, no doubt about it. I mean, up at 5:30, down at the barn by 7:15, 7:30, doing her dailies, and then, when it was time to teach, she would have a, adult group that came in the morning and she would teach a lesson, and then, her kids would show up in the afternoon, and every day, 7 days a week.
We all learned how to ride. Obviously, our mother taught us and our father taught us. We all learned how to ride correctly, and, it was, if it wasn't correctly, you didn't do it.
I meet people today that, I rode with your mom when I was, in elementary school. I'm like, what year was that? Oh, 1972. And I'm like, oh my Lord. It's a bunch of them too. It's a bunch. Breeding and teaching lessons and boarding was center stage for many, many, many years. We stopped breeding 10 years ago. A horse show took center stage.
They have a circuit in the spring, a circuit in the summer, and a circuit in the fall. My
mother and father started putting on some equestrian events. We decided, hey, this is, so we had 2, and then okay, let's try 2 more. And over time, Dad started building all the buildings here and the rings and things here. So we've been here for 29, I think this next year will be our 30th year putting on horse shows here.
It's top notch on a family-owned hospitality, the best, Southern. We're all so glad you're here, a little different.
It's not like a big corporation. It's very personal. It's home. It's family. We want everybody to feel welcome, like they're a guest. And I think that is kind of what Brownland Farm means to a lot of people.
That whole facility, Brownland, I've always thought was built for horsemen and horsewomen, how they arranged the stalls and the cross ties on the washing mats. And I mean, they thought about what was good for the horses and the people.
The people in the office, I mean, Sissy made sure that they always had friendly people when you came in.
You know, this is our home, and we open it up to any and everybody to, you know, come and, you know, enjoy a safe, fun environment.
I just think, truly, when I visualize Sissy, it's with, please come on into my wonderful house, have a good time.
Every exhibitor party that we've ever had pretty much here at Brown Farm is here at the house.
Every Friday, Sissy would open her house to have an exhibitor's party. And I mean open it from the grooms to the blacksmith to the exhibitors to the kids. And then they would have a bouncy house or something for the little ones. And this was Sissy, the kindest, sweetest person ever.
You know, Mother is one of those individuals that very gracious, loves to entertain, loved to open her home. I mean, she was very warm and inviting, and, you know, just loved to socialize. We were blessed to have the pony finals. We had that here in 1997.
She was very involved in the pony finals, and this was a major part of what she did, and she really, really helped a lot with that.
She would go up every year, and she would help volunteer, of course, you know, to help do awards or do lunches for the judges, or, you know, help with the hospitality tents and things like that. She just, you know, gave her time.
She liked the children part of it, and she liked the ponies. As we know, the breeding of the Brownland ponies. I think it all sort of melted together, and that was probably like her, not her indoors, but sort of like her special thing that she enjoyed and that she worked toward. The pony finals now have grown and grown and grown, and I think Sissy had a great deal to do with that.
Mother was really involved with Pony Committee and USCF, AHSA, you know, in the, you know, the pony aspect. She did that for, gosh, many, many, many years. You know, Mother and Father were married for 43 years. When they got together, I mean, they started this whole life together. I mean, the passion and you know, the admiration for, you know, the horses and this business was the two of them, I mean, you know, collectively. We started noticing after my father passed away in 2011 that Mother started showing early stages of dementia and, you know, Alzheimer's. And it has just unfortunately progressed in the last 5 years to, you know, where she is now, where, you know, unfortunately she doesn't remember a lot. We could no longer care for Mother properly here in her home with the farm and with horse showing and things going on here all the time. Mother required a different type of care because of her memory. I'm positive Mother would be overwhelmed with joy for, you know, her peers acknowledging her life work, because it really wasn't work to her, you know, her life, because, you know, that's what it is, lifetime achievement. And Mother definitely achieved goals, I would assume, that she had set for herself, just having the opportunity to do this and to provide it for her family and a lot of other people's families too.
For Sissy to know that she is being recognized with a Lifetime Achievement Award, she would be over the moon. She would be tickled pink, you know. She really appreciated respect and admiration from her peers, so I think this would mean the world to her.
You know, she worked really hard all of our lives to build what we have and to take the equestrian world, from what I saw as a kid growing up, and go to the next level. Always tried to go to the next level. Always, you know, her and my father both always tried to have the best ponies and so forth and so on. And for her to win an award that, you know, combines all that she tried to do, whether it be horse shows, training horses, riding horses, you know, her kids, to build this facility, it's the icing on the cake. There's the best way to put it. She'd be happy.
Her lifespan has been a great one. She's touched a lot of lives. just being in her home territory. She had her plans, I know she did, and she followed through with them, and it has contributed so much in lots of ways to the horse show world and the horse world. And I think it's a real honor, and I'm so glad that she's getting this.